I want to create a little video for you so you can see kind of the differences in the SD-513 and the Plockmatic. The Plockmatic I have is on a KMC 14,000 over there. However, the interface is exactly the same. The SD-513 you can see has a kind of a jut out front, and this piece behind it is pretty much identical to the SD-506, which is just the shin buster booklet maker. On this piece in the SD-513, you have the front, which does the square fold, the face trim, and then there's actually a creaser that goes in the unit right in there. So both of these booklet makers do have the limitations of no more than 10 sheets of 80-pound gloss text, and the way you make the book is a little different. So I want you to see kind of the process of that and what's different about it. The adjustments for face trim, you have to do those in the touchscreen here. So you go to adjustments, finish your adjustment, stapler finisher adjustment. Finish your adjustment, saddle stitcher, and then you'll see 4-edge trim. So then you can do it by size of paper or by all sheets. And basically, if you want to take more off the face, you make the number bigger. If you want to take less, you take less. And you can go to a -400 or a 400, and each step is 1/10 of a millimeter. So if I was going to do my face trim here, I may have to tell it on, this 120, I might say I probably need another 150. And then I would just choose the size, and I would hit set, and I would return, exit adjustment. Then at the Fiery, I have a coffee book job in here, and you can see at the Fiery, I'm just going to make this simple. I'll go to properties, go to media, I'll choose my default catalog of 80-pound gloss text. Under layout, I'm just going to go ahead and choose a booklet. I'm going to launch the wizard. It's a left booklet. Next, I'll say I want to print on all sides. Next, I could define a cover. I'll hit next. I could choose compensate for creep, which is fine. I'll hit next. And then I hit finish. So then under finishing, I would go in and tell it to fold. And I'll say, give me a spine formed half fold, which is going to turn on 2 center positioning stapling. And then I could tell it the fold strength. All that's right here. And then I could turn on creasing, and then I'll turn on 2 side slitting on all sheets. I can go up or down. The minimum I can take off is 0.32. And then I'll just say proof print. So it's going to rip the job, and it's going to take, again, I have to lay out the book here. I have to tell it the finishing of the steps of square fold, creasing, all of those things in the Fiery. And then when it gets over to the printer, it's going to use that adjustment I created in the adjustment setting for the 4-edge on how much it's going to take off the face. And so then you'll see it come out here at the end. This is the 4070 with a vacuum feeder, which is just the next generation up from the C3070. Now on this one, the books come out at the top right here, and you do have a tray that you can swing up like this, and then you could raise the lever there at the end, and the books would just stack up there. A lot of people will put a cart and just put a box there to make the booklets. So it's going to crease it, slit it, fold it, stack it, and then staple it, slide it out front to where it's going to do a face trim and a square fold. And then when it's done, it delivers the book out right here. So the SD-513 is limited to 10 sheets of 80-pound gloss text. And then what you'll see is that when it comes out here, there's my little coffee book that I created, and I did not take enough face trim off. So then I would measure that in millimeters and say, oh, I need to take that much more off. I'd go back to the touch screen and I would set that up. This is the KM Plockmatic, which the Plockmatic itself is identical. The covers are a little bit different, and the Rico does have a rail system, which it will detach and slide back so that you could have kind of a standard finisher. The first thing you have is your rotate crease trim. Then you have your finisher, and then the square fold. This one's a little bit different because instead of doing all those things at the copier screen or at the Fiery, you just tell the Fiery to send the job to the external finisher. You could do the booklet layout. You tell it your incoming paper size of 11 by 17. Say check. You give it, and then you say what booklet size. So in the case of this booklet, if I'm trying to trim it down, I couldn't trim if I was doing 8.5 by 11. So I'll just say custom size and edit. And I might want it to be a 10.3 by an 8.3. And it's going to do all the math. It's going to calculate everything. It's going to figure out the trim on it. It's going to automatically set up the machine. So then you can see right here, to turn on square back, I just say on or off. I can say how much I want it to fold. I can change the strength, or I can leave it at auto. I can go into the fold skew. So just very quickly, I can adjust the fold skewing one way or the other. I can go to the staple. I can move my staple position, the edge to the front or the back if it's not centered. I can go to the crease. I can turn the crease on or off and say fine or coarse. So it's very easy to just come here and set it up. And then at the Fiery, all you have to do at that point is tell it to do a booklet layout and which media to call. And that's all you would do at the Fiery. So there are definitely differences in the way the two makers are made. The Plockmatic is heavier duty. It's intended more for, the larger size books. So for example, when you have what you're trying to do with your large book, you'll see when it opens, it's just very, very heavy duty. Staple heads are down there. Very heavy duty machine, less interaction, and it can do up to 21 sheets of 80-pound gloss tack, which give you the bigger book you're looking for.